Alright, hey there Prox Gaming Crew, and this is Proxify here, and we're back for some more of the Persona 4 Golden Let's Play. If you did miss out during the last one, well, we just went and finished off with the school trip that was happening, and now, since we are all the way back over here in our regular hometown once again, we're going to be on our way to do some more of the social linking as well, and I think we're also going to be doing a little bit of the main story too, because that will also be somewhat in the process throughout this month of September. Now, I did go and do some research, and it seems like for what's going to be happening here is that we will have a dungeon quest that should be showing up at some point around over here in the September area. I believe that starts somewhere within in the 13th of September or somewhere around within the 15th of September. Depends on what type of time that is going to be happening, and that's when we'll have to go and try to rescue out with Naoto at some point. Now, we will be seeing later on down the road here in this said episode where we will be seeing Naoto getting interviewed, and well, normally you should be getting to know that whenever there's an interview that goes on, normally there's always something of some sort of suspicious is going to be happening from here. And while we are going throughout this said episode of Persona 4 today, not only are we just going to be doing out here with said Persona, but we are also going to have to go and do some more of what Final Fantasy X is going to be. Currently right now in Final Fantasy X, we have just went and defeated off with some of the different body parts of Sin. Right now we're going to have to go and actually face off with the main part of Sin and see what that is going to be. Now, I did go in here that if you don't do the battle within the amount of turns that happens, this man will actually decide to go for some sort of crazy Oko attack, kind of like what happened before when we went about out with the ultimate weapon. And when you go and do something like that, all of a sudden you're gonna get destroyed, and you can't really go and continue onwards. So then you'll have to go and restart all over again, which hopefully within the way of how what we're gonna go and do with Sin is that we'll make sure that we can go and do it in the amount of turns before it actually does go on and happen here. So yeah, so just currently, just before reaching on into the September 12th area, currently right now, we are going to be able to make some lunches for one of our friends, and that of course is going to have to be with Rize, and we are going to give her some sort of really nice good sushi here. So now we can go and pass that over there to her for the time being, and hopefully try to build upon some more of the social linking. And now, just yesterday, it was the Bad Blood pay-per-view. I did get to go and watch it with me and my friends, of course. If you guys don't know, Kevin and Joseph are members of the channel here, and we were able to go and check out on that said PLE that was going on. And I have to say, that was a very fun type of PLE that was going on. I loved the very first part of it. It was really nice. The Hell in the Cell match was great. I can't wait until I see what else is going to happen with CM Punk. I don't really want to go into too much spoilerish details, but it was blood crazy all over that whole entire Hell in the Cell. And but I do have to say though that later on, Bad Blood did kind of tend to get a little bit droned out though, because some of the other matches, for me personally, just weren't all that too exciting. It kind of sucks that, unfortunately, with the way of how, WWE kind of had their match card all set up, they should have put the Hell in the Cell not as an opening type of thing to start off with everything else, but at least put that match somewhat as a tail end of that said type of PLE instead, because then that would have made the Bad Blood pay-per-view a little bit better, and then you didn't really have to be all that completely droned out afterwards. When I watched the Bloodline match that happened at the very end, it was a little bit stale for me. I don't know how anybody else felt about that Bloodline match, but it just took a little bit too long. There was a lot of type of moves that weren't really all that too powerful until midway through later on in that said Bloodline match. And then all of a sudden, there were some good parts that did happen with it as well too. You did have Jimmy that literally came back, and then you also did have The Rock that made his appearance, which that was rumored around heavily that The Rock would be coming back for Bad Blood, and he did, however. So we'll be able to go and see that at some point later on SmackDown or something. We'll be seeing that. But currently right now it seems like Naoto is getting interviewed here, so that does kind of leave a little bit of some suspicious that whoever is still behind within inside that midnight channel is going to go after him there. So it seems like Naoto knows that there's a little bit more pieces that he's still trying to figure out here for what all these disappearances are happening, and that's what we're kind of stuck on as well too, right? It's like everything that we have been learning up so far, everything has always been coming back like empty-handed, you know. Like at first we found one type of part of the clue that we think that we already know about it, but then a whole bunch of other like type of other things afterwards kind of were in like another type of different situation than what was going on previously with the clues that we had. But let's just go and just jump into the 13th here of September and see what that's going to be happening. Oh, well, there's all of our group again.
Yo. Hey, did you see the show on TV last night?
Yep, we did. We did see that Nacho-kun was on TV.
Detective Prince solving the case? Come on, we're the ones who actually caught the killer.
But the police were the ones who identified the suspect, and he was cooperating with them on it, right? So it's true that he helped solve the case.
Well, that's what we have been hearing about as well, too, because, like, we know that, like, he was out with the police officers within the investigation. Oh, and if you guys haven't went and checked out with the very first of many of the guide walkthroughs that I'm going to be doing, I am going to be playing Phantom Hourglass for you guys. I will be doing a somewhat of like a guide tutorial on like all the different parts of like the game that we're going to have to go and do. Currently, we just went through Murky Island, and now we're starting to reach off into the Isle of Ember right now.
The victims were all locals who had been the focus of recent media attention, becoming suddenly well known. That is the most likely scenario. I don't believe there's anything intrinsically unique about the victims themselves.
No, there's nothing really all that too unique about it, right? Because that was also another question that Kaji kind of brought up during the TV world, right? Because like he was thinking that like that mainly most of everybody has to have at least some sort of purpose going into the TV world, which I don't really see anybody having a purpose, you know. I don't know if you guys ever watched like the show From, but what I really enjoy about that show is that like each of those people that get trapped in this said place have like some sort of purpose within the actual area, which that's what, because like the show From kind of works like in a way of like how Lost is, because like whenever you're like a part of that island, you're gonna be like majority of having some sort of purpose within there. So but here, within the Midnight Channel, there's not really a set purpose to exactly why people are going into the TV yet, because that's still something of a question that we still don't really know. And by the way, From is actually having a new season, which I haven't really checked it out yet. I will have to do that soon at some point. I know that I got my sister hooked on that show for quite a little bit for right now, and we're going to be trying to at least somewhat catch up with everything of Season 1, and then hopefully try to get to Season 2.
There is in fact a flaw in the theory. It doesn't account for the third incident.
Yeah, and that's kind of like the outlier still, is that with Mr. Morioka, like King Moron himself, he was the one outlier out of all that, because we still don't really know exactly why that type of incident was different compared to the rest. But we kind of already know that Mitsuo Kubo may have probably have done something with that, right?
Yet they are desperate to close the case. Further action will be necessary to obtain some sort of decisive evidence.
Further action? What do you mean?
Well, whatever the outcome, the evidence should come to light. You said something interesting to me not long ago.
And what was that?
Hey, where are you going?
This is not a game for me either.
Oh, I remember that line. Because I think Rize brought that up, right? About it not being a game. Even though that it is a game, because we're playing the game right now. So it looks like we're gonna have to go and help out with Yumi here. So it seems like that's the one thing that we are gonna have to go and do out here for today. Now, mind you, we still have to go and do that rooftop situation, right? Because that's also something that we do need to do. But I don't know if we went and already taken care of that from before. But I think we have, because that was during the time of us meeting up with Chie. So at least the good thing is now is that I'm pretty certain, I think at this point, that whole quest at this point in time for Enma is now finally done. So we should be able to now go and start reaching back to the shrine, and then at least get that all completed for Enma, and then we could go and then return back over to her again at some point if we ever do need another said quest again, so that we can go and do that later. Well, at least Yumi's still helping out with her mom there, right, in the hospital. Well, I think what we're going to do is just go and save for the last text dialogue there. But I think we are getting ourselves closer to the end of this said episode. So what I'm going to go and do is that I'm going to see the outro here for today. So that is going to be thank you so much for going and checking out here for today of the Persona 4 Golden Let's Play. See you guys in the next one, where we'll still probably be going on and doing a little bit more other social linking before we start jumping into the actual said dungeon quest itself. Because I know that we could go and do that at some point around within here of September. But yeah, so anyways, I'll see you guys then, and of course, peace.